Cellular metabolism is so important to help fuel and sustain life. Over the years, I would teach this subject to non science majors and realized that many would just glaze over and get lost from the intricate steps involved. While these steps are interesting to someone like me, I don't find it necessary for you to learn all those intricate details. I would prefer that you know the importance and overall process and how we are all effectively running on sunshine. With a few exceptions, such as those living things in caves and deep in the ocean, most life relies on sunlight as an energy source. Thing is, only plants, algae, and photosynthetic bacteria can actually capture sunlight and convert it into food, or glucose. For the sake of simplicity, I will use a plant to explain photosynthesis. Photosynthesis requires carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. Carbon dioxide comes from the surrounding air, water from the soil, or humidity, and sunlight is captured by chloroplast in the leaf and or stem cells. Photosynthesis combines carbon dioxide with water, utilizing the energy in sunlight to cause an attraction between the electrons of these atoms to help form a large molecule called glucose. Since there is an abundance of oxygen atoms left over, it is released as waste into the surrounding air. Most glucose is stored as starch in plants, but some is sent immediately to the mitochondrion to make ATP. Some oxygen is sent to the mitochondrion to help make ATP as well, but most of it is dissipated into the surrounding air. And thank goodness for that, because I am addicted to oxygen. While photosynthesis is limited to certain groups of organisms, all life must undergo cellular respiration in order to make cell fuel, or ATP. Most eukaryotes make the bulk of their ATP utilizing
the mighty mitochondrion.
Okay, that's the last time you'll hear that. So while we humans aren't directly dependent on sunlight, we need materials made from photosynthetic organisms in order to make ATP. Before beginning, let's take a look at the recipe for ATP production. You need 1 glucose and 6 oxygen molecules. If you're a photosynthetic organism, you make this yourself. If you are not, you will need to absorb or breathe in oxygen from the air and get your glucose by consuming a photosynthetic organism, or, if in the case of eating meat, you're eating an organism that ate a plant. The mitochondrion takes these molecules and breaks those bonds formed from sunlight. That energy then gets transferred into one important molecule called ATP. So ATP contains little packets of original sunlight energy to power ourselves. Pretty cool, right? Right? Carbon dioxide and water form from the breakdown of these chemical bonds, and carbon dioxide is released into the surrounding air. And if you look real close and rewind back to the previous slide, you'll notice that the photosynthesis and cellular respiration equations are backwards from one another. So it creates a cyclical reaction overall. Another fun fact, if you like bread baking or drinking special beverages, yeast is used. Yeast does not use oxygen, and thus it will break down glucose to make ATP for itself. But instead of producing water, as we see in this equation, it makes ethanol instead. This is the source of bread rising, the carbon dioxide, and alcohol for certain beverages. See, beer in particular utilizes the carbon dioxide for carbonation. See, you thought this was going to be a boring topic. Photosynthesis and cellular respiration are so important for sustaining life itself.